Welcome to your daily dose of hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about practicing safety and a very specific type. We've heard since we were in elementary school, little kids, right? To be safe, to practice safety, safety first. But today, I'm talking about emotional and psychological safety. Feeling emotionally safe is key to making good decisions and seeing possibilities. When we don't feel safe, our brain makes all of that harder. First of all, if we are feeling fearful, the frontal cortex of our brain, which is where we're meant to really process information and to make good decisions, if we're coming from a place of fear, that part's actually shut down. So it makes it difficult to focus and look at all possibilities. Our brains are just trying to keep us safe, right? They're trying to keep us alive. And it means that our brain really kind of has a negativity bias as well. It's always scanning for danger and looking for things that could go wrong and assumes that it would be better to be cautious than, brave and or even curious. And that's really helpful if you're trying to avoid physical danger, like a wild animal or a dangerous environment that we're not used to. Having heightened focus is a good thing, but it's not so helpful when you're deciding other kinds of decisions, like should you speak up at a meeting or apply for a new job or introduce yourself to someone new or go to an event by yourself or start a business, whatever. All of those kinds of things, take the feeling or take emotional safety to be able to process that kind of information well. And hope grows best in a nervous system that feels safe. And sometimes that means pausing, right? Taking a walk before making a decision if you don't feel like you're able to really look at all the possibilities. Sometimes it just might mean taking a breath, talking to somebody else, or even asking yourself, am I okay? Where is this coming from? Do I have to solve this right this minute? Do I have my best resources to solve this right now or to make this decision? When we create a sense of safety, our perspective actually changes. We notice more possibilities. We don't just see the obstacles, we see ways around them. We become a little more creative and more compassionate. And we're also more willing to take healthy risks when we can see all of the possibilities and not just focusing on one thing. So today, before you ask yourself what you should do next, maybe ask yourself something more important, like what would help me feel safe right now in this moment? You might be surprised how much clearer everything becomes. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.